All right, I want to go back and refactor my stream extraction, stream insertion operators so that they will call print and enter respectively. So I'll make another copy, and I'm actually going to get rid of the destructor here since I don't want to see those messages anymore. And as I said in the video lecture, first thing I have to do is declare that I can pass in an O stream called out, and I'm going to use the default argument of cout. I'm going to do something analogous with enter. I'm going to pass in an I stream called in, and it will default to cin. Let me get rid of this. So now let me find my print method, and I'll make the necessary changes here. Remember that when we use default arguments, they appear in the definition, not in the function. You get an error message if you do that. And then I need to find the enter method, pass in an I stream in. Okay, so for enter, what I have to do is instead of reading from cin, I want to read from the parameter in, so I can get rid of that. And the other thing I want to do here is instead of just checking for my colon, I also want to check to make sure that my state of the input stream is good. And so if it's good, it will evaluate to true. And I have to also see a colon. And if any of those if any of those is false, then we won't change the object. So now I need to go back to print, and instead of reading from cout, I want to read from the parameter out. So that's what print looks like. So let me compile just to make sure that I don't have any syntax problems. Okay, good. And we could run this, but I'm going to go ahead and now change my stream insertion, stream extraction operator. So now that I have a way of passing the stream out to the print method, I can simply call the print method of the time object and pass in out. I can do the same thing here. Instead of rewriting all that code, I can just call the enter method, passing in. And I forgot one thing I need to do in the print method. Now I am not going to, by default, write an indel into the stream. So let's compile this again. Okay. So now in my main function, I can call print, and this will default to cout. Here I'm going to use the extraction operator. Now I'll call enter on T2, and then I'll also cin T2. And maybe I'll print after each. All right, so let's see how this works. All right, so see, I'm not getting the indel there, so let me break out of this. And something I talked about in the screencast, I'll do it here. So one of the things that we could do is we could actually implement a print ln that gives us a new line. So now if I go to print to do this, so I can call print, so I'm calling the print method, and then I can write an indel to the output stream. Let's compile that. Now I'll go change my main function. So instead of calling print, I'll just call print ln. So here's the call to print ln, and I get 7 and 12, and then this is the call to the stream insertion operator, and you can see that it's, you know, doing what it should do, except now it's calling the implementation of print instead of using the duplicate code that we had in there before. Now it's asking me to enter a time, and I'll do that. And you can see that it printed the time back for me after I entered it. And now I can enter another time, and this was the so this was calling the enter method, and this was calling the extraction operator. So again, I mean, this is just a much nicer implementation because, first of all, it simplifies the implementation of the extraction operators, and I have the logic for printing and entering times in the methods, and I've only written that code once. So if my format changes, so let's say, for example, we decide to change this to print, you know, AM, PM time, it would be simple to do that. We would only have to change one method instead of two. 2 changes isn't all that big, but what if it's 3 changes or 4 changes or 6 changes?